Hey, how's it going, YouTube? It's TAG97 again. Hope all y'all are doing very well today. We're going over the Ruger SR1911 45 Auto. And also, guys, do not forget I have an Instagram as well. Just go down to the description down below, find the links, and find the one that goes directly to my IG. Hit that follow button, and you get to see anything that happened in my previous time in the service, and any upcoming things that are happening on the channel. I want to thank my viewers, subscribers, and of course my Patreon donors. I love and appreciate you all very much. I cannot make this channel come alive without your help, so thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so before I go over any specifications, let's tap in a brief history of the 1911. So, John Browning, of course, invented the Colt 45. The Colt manufacturer started the development and making of the 1911 in 1911, and of course the U.S. Army had this as their primary standard issued pistol. And the U.S. Army used this pistol from the years of 1911 and to the end of the years of 1986. So it's been around for a very, very long time. People still conceal carry it. It was one of my first concealed carries. I'm guilty of it, I know. But it is still a famous firearm, and we're going to go over that. Okay, so let's go over the specifications of the Ruger SR 1911. So, does size matter? Of course, if you conceal carrying, it does. So, this 1911 is 8.67 inches long overall, and the barrel is 5 inches long. So in reality, this is a pretty long handgun, and it weighs in at 2.44 pounds. So it's got some weight to it. I mean, it is basically all metal, except for obviously the wooden grips and a couple polymer plastic pieces that you have on there. But it is a pretty big pistol to carry on you. It used to be my first concealed carry, and I realized that it wasn't really practical, and I had a lot of people calling me a boomer and saying I needed to get a different gun. So it is what it is, but I did love carrying this when I did. Okay, so I'm going to show you a comparison between the 45 Auto and the 9mm. So this right here is the 9mm, and this bad boy right here is the 45 Auto. So as you see, there is a pretty big comparison. The 9mm is basically half the size of the 45, and the 45 is basically double the 9mm. So we don't need to talk about this one anymore. So there's been a lot of debates on which one's better, the 9mm or the 45. It really comes down to the shooter, what their preference is, if they like to shoot a heavier caliber or a low one with high velocity. It doesn't really matter to me, long as you can hit the target and put lead down range. That's all that matters. But that is always up to the shooter, what their preference is. That's what it always comes down to. So the best grain to use while shooting the SR1911, from what I found, has been between the numbers of 185 grain all the way up to 230. So if you can find ammunition between that or exactly those numbers, you're going to get the best bang for your buck in accuracy and performance. Alright, so let's go over capacity real quick. So the Ruger SR1911 comes with two magazines. You get one 8-rounder and you get one 7-rounder. Now, the base plate is only extending it to one more round, so this would be the one that you carry, so you have that 8+1 capacity. Now, keep in mind, this is how it's going to look once you put it in. It's going to be a little bit extended past it, but if you get a 10-round magazine like I've seen some people have, it's going to look like this. And to be honest, that's kind of ridiculous. It looks really stupid. And if you're carrying a concealed carry 1911 that's already a full frame, it's going to be way extended past that, and you're going to obviously see it, and there's almost no way of you hiding it. The reason why I'm saying that is because I went to a couple ranges and places like gun stores, and I see people open carry or trying to conceal carry it, and it looks really dumb. So I would try to recommend carrying the 8-rounder. Don't go past that for concealed carrying. But if you want to have a 30-round extended magazine for a 1911, then go ahead, whatever floats your boat, but it looks really ridiculous. I'm sorry. So what is the MSRP, or the retail price of this firearm? So Ruger recommends that people sell this firearm for $939. That's a lot of money for a Ruger, let's be honest, but this is very well made, so don't be mistaken because it's a Ruger. I know people like to compare Rugers to like Tauruses for some reason. I don't know why, but don't be discouraged by the name. Ruger actually really did an outstanding job with this 1911, and I cannot argue enough about that. I bought mine on sale. I believe I paid $850 after taxes. I believe it was like a Veterans Day sale or something like that, where I got like 10% off, and the store wasn't really charging me like an arm and leg for it. So for a first handgun, this is a very good choice in my opinion. Okay, so since we're done talking about the specifications with the Ruger SR1911, let's talk about my own personal preferences and experiences with it. So let's talk about the negativity. Since I cannot stand negativity, let's get out of the way, right? Number one, it is not a double action. And what I mean by double action, if I was to put a magazine in here, cock, that slide back, and now I have the hammer, and I let that hammer back up, and now it's safe. If I was to carry this and I draw it to shoot it, the firearm will not go off unless that hammer's back. So you would have to literally carry like this with the safety up for it to be considered safe to carry. And a lot of people have arguments that you don't need to do that. Just carry with none in the chamber. All you do is draw and cock it back, which is really stupid because most time in reality you're never going to have that amount of time. Every second is so precious of you drawing your firearm onto a threat or target if you're doing any type of competition shooting. So that's something I cannot stand about it. The other thing is capacity. I have to carry so many magazines on me just to equal the amount that I can carry with my Glock 19 or my M9 Beretta. I have to carry approximately 3 to 4 magazines just to equal the amount that I carry with those two firearms that I do carry occasionally. So let's just say, for instance, that I had 20 rounds in my Glock 19. How many rounds do you think it would have to equal the amount of magazines I would have to carry? So for instance, let's say that I wanted that 20 rounds, but I wanted 20 rounds for the 1911. Just 2 8-rounders equals only 16. So I would have to have another mag just to equal one of my Glock 19 mags. That's ridiculous. But people like to argue saying, well, if you're a good shot, you don't need that many rounds. Well, in a gunfight, not every round you sling is always going to hit your target. That's the reality of it. I'm sorry. But your action Hollywood movies are not real. There's no one that's John Wick worthy, except for, Keanu Reeves, because that man's just a legend himself. Anyway, those are things I cannot stand about it. So let's get on to the things I really love and adore. So the reasons why I like the SR1911. Number one, it looks really beautiful. Let's be honest. This is a very nicely made firearm. The finish on it is amazing. The wood on the grip is also real. And overall, it just feels really good in your hand. And that trigger is really nice and crisp. You know that every time you pull that trigger, you got a nice solid round down range. It is accurate, reliable, and I know rumors of it always jamming. No, it does not always jam. I've shot, I think, 1,200 to 1,300 rounds out of this firearm in my entire life, which is really not that much at all. Normally, I can go through like 3,000 rounds in a couple hours. So, even though I own this for like 2.5 years, I have not shot it that much. It's just always been either my can carry gun or just been sitting in its little glove box that I have for it. Overall, very nicely made, reliable. I love the 45. Looks beautiful, and of course it's part of history, and I love history if you've been watching my channel for a while. So, highly recommend it, and definitely TAG97 approved. Alright, so since we're done talking about basically this firearm and everything it looks, let's get on to your favorite part, the shooting compilation. If you did skip to this part, I recommend you go back. If not, you just keep skipping to your favorite parts. I can never stop you. The only thing I kindly ask you to do for me is just make sure you hit the like button on the video, and of course subscribe, because it's always appreciated. And every time I see my subscriber notification saying, hey, you got a new subscriber, it always makes me smile knowing that you guys love the content and you love watching my channel. So I really would appreciate if you guys did that for me. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Alright, so I know I said it's been a long time for me shooting this. It's been, I think, a year since I shot it, so it's collected some dust. So I was a little rusty with it, but I hope you enjoy the video. So as you guys saw, the Ruger SR1911 is an awesome handgun, very reliable, and man, that gun is accurate. I was just a little bit rusty at shooting it since it's been so long since I shot it, and it definitely had dust buildup in it for sure. But overall, what an awesome piece. Highly recommended. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you hit the like button, and of course subscribe. It is always appreciated. I got nothing else for you. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I love you all. Stay safe, stay healthy. I'll catch you next time, okay? You take care.